So, have you ever stopped and wondered what really separates a good IT professional from a truly great one? I'll give you a hint. It's not just about knowing all the latest tech gadgets. Today, we're going to deconstruct the complete blueprint for success. We're going to strip away all the old myths and reveal what it actually takes to excel in the tech world right now. Let's get into it.
Okay, so when you picture an IT pro, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it that lone genius tucked away in a server room, surrounded by a sea of blinking lights? Yeah, that's the classic stereotype for sure. But the reality of the modern role? It's so much more dynamic and, frankly, way more important to a company's success. Because, being a top-tier professional isn't just about technical wizardry anymore. It's about having this holistic approach, a unified skill set that perfectly balances different but equally crucial abilities. Think of it like a three-legged stool. If one of those legs is shorter than the others, the whole thing just wobbles. It's unstable. And here they are. These are the three legs of our stool, the three pillars of our blueprint: people, process, and technology. And I want you to really notice the order I've put them in. We're going to tackle them exactly like this, because understanding why they're in this order is probably the most critical first step to mastering this whole framework.
That's right. We're starting with people. Not servers, not code, not firewalls, but people, human interaction. So why start here? Well, it's simple. In IT, you're not just solving a technical problem. You're solving a person's problem that just happens to involve technology.
Oof, we've all felt the panic in a statement like this, right? This isn't just another ticket number in a queue. This is a real person under some serious pressure, staring down a massive deadline. Their stress is now part of the equation you have to solve. How you handle a person is just as important as how you handle the technical glitch.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Being technically competent, that's just the price of admission. It's the absolute bare minimum that's expected. But being genuinely helpful, communicating clearly, showing some empathy, that is the real game changer. People want a partner who can guide them through a crisis, not just a mechanic to fix a broken part.
So, how do you deliver that amazing service every single time? You build a system for it, a process. First, you acknowledge their reality. Wow, I understand this is super urgent for you. Second, communicate clearly. Instead of using a bunch of jargon like the DHCP servers flapping, try something like, the system that assigns network connections is a bit unstable right now, but I'm working on it. Third, set realistic expectations. And finally, you always follow up. This simple four-step process builds trust, and trust is the absolute bedrock of a great IT team. And that idea, building trust through a repeatable process, leads us right into our second pillar, process itself. If people are the why we do the job, then process is the how we get it done right. It's the sturdy scaffolding that lets you and your team deliver fantastic results consistently, not just by luck. Now, I want you to look at these tools not just as boring documents, but as your organization's collective brain. A great knowledge base means a problem gets solved once for good, not over and over again. Ticket history, that can reveal patterns you'd never see otherwise. These systems are what transform a team from a group of individual heroes into a sustainable, scalable, professional operation.
Now, a really critical part of process is something called change management. To put it simply, it's just a structured plan for making changes without breaking everything. For example, instead of just pushing a huge server update whenever you feel like it, change management makes sure you've tested it, scheduled it for a quiet time, told everyone what's happening, and, this is the big one, you have a plan to roll it back if things go south.
And the difference this makes is just night and day. On the left, with change management, that big update happens quietly overnight. No drama. On the right, without it, that same update gets pushed at 10 a.m. on a Monday, and suddenly the entire company grinds to a halt. See? Process isn't about creating red tape. It's about creating a stable and predictable environment where a business can actually thrive. All right, so we've got our people-first mindset locked in, and we have our solid processes in place. Now we can finally talk about the pillar that everyone thinks of first, technology. This is the what. This is the deep, foundational technical knowledge that everything else is built on.
At the very heart of any modern system, you'll find its operating system, or OS. You can think of it as the conductor of an orchestra. It's telling the memory, the storage, the processor, everything, what to do and when to do it. A deep, real understanding of how an OS works is non-negotiable for an effective IT pro. And today's tech world is almost never a monologue. It's a conversation between all these different systems. You've got Windows, which pretty much runs the corporate desktop world. You've got macOS, which is a powerhouse in creative fields. And then there's Linux, the undisputed engine running the cloud and most of the internet. A truly versatile pro needs to be fluent in how each of these works and, more importantly, how they all talk to each other. But just knowing the systems isn't quite enough, because technology is never static. It has a life cycle. And while knowing when a product was released is cool, knowing its end-of-life date is absolutely critical. Running software that the vendor doesn't support with security patches anymore, that's basically like leaving the front door of your entire business wide open. It's the IT pro's job to see that risk coming a mile away and manage the transition without a hitch. And think about it, managing that life cycle, managing all that risk, it takes more than just technical skill. It requires solid processes and great people skills. And that brings us perfectly to our final section, putting it all together to create the unified IT professional. This is where the real power of this whole approach just clicks into place. And here it is, the entire blueprint, the whole philosophy boiled down into one powerful sentence. Your technical skill is what you do. The process is how you do it reliably and safely, and the people are why you do it in the first place. These aren't three separate jobs. They are one totally intertwined. This visual just makes it perfectly clear, doesn't it? Elite performance isn't about being 90% tech whiz and 10% everything else. It's all about creating balance. The most effective, the most valuable, and ultimately the most successful IT professionals are the ones who deliberately work on all three of these areas equally. So there you have it. This blueprint, it isn't some secret formula. It's a strategy. It's a clear path for you to intentionally grow your career by developing your people skills, refining your processes, and deepening your technical knowledge, all in harmony. The path forward is right there. Now you have the blueprint to go out and build an absolutely exceptional career.